Hey guys, Messiah here. Today is an introduction to a new series we're going to start in which we follow LCS pros in solo queue. Now today I'm going to start off with Sneaky's Ashe. So let's get into the replay.
Talked about yesterday.
I think the way you
Real
move around the game is like
noodles you had
fully
there.
retarded.
Alright, so this is a pretty clean Gromp. And what you're going to see is they managed to get into bot lane for the minion wave, and the enemy bot lane unfortunately misses out on the first 3 CS. Now, normally you want to do the camp and get the first wave. This gives you a huge advantage because now Ashe is 2, it's very hard for the enemy team to trade, and they're forced to just back off and win. Now you see the Hawk shot here. We see that Wolves are up, Gromp is up. Excuse me, Wolves are up, Gromp is down, Blue is down. So this means that Rengar is somewhere in this area. So that's something to note. Sneaky tells Meteos, who's playing mid this game, that. So, really good use of Hawkshot. So thanks to the minion wave control they managed to establish by taking the Gromp sooner, they're able to keep bot pushed. Note the spacing that Bard has against the Thresh. Despite their advantage, he's still playing rather far back. This is to play around gank opportunities to make sure that no variance happens, and they ward river. Okay, so Vi's top now. Just take a note on how Sneaky clicks and how he keeps out of range. It's very hard for Thresh to get engaged through the minions, so Sneaky's able to safely push the minion wave and reset it. They run up the river here because they're looking for any potential Rengar ganks. Try isn't warded because they're playing so far back. It's unnecessary for them to ward it at this point. You can see like Sneaky's clicking to try and get Jhin as he tries to CS, but staying far enough away from the Thresh to where Thresh can't walk up and engage. So that's the type of spacing you have to have against Thresh. You have to know the range of his hook, and know when they're looking for the engage, right? There's minion advantage. There's no reason to try and fight right now. So you just maintain a very safe distance away. You should familiarize yourself with the auto attack animations of champions. Like you can see here that Smoothie is able to capitalize on Jin's low attack speed by throwing a max distance Q. You see, he's lining himself up for the Q range, which is from here to here, and it will hit Jin if he continues to try and walk up for CS. Because Jin has to like push up this lane if he wants to keep it even. So taking the harass there. It's evident if you were able to pay attention. So we see Vi here doing the dragon. So bot doesn't want to make any real quick moves. A free trade is taken. And that's once again, the distance Ashe is maintaining from Thresh is very good because he understands that the worst possible thing to happen right now is to start like an all-in via Thresh. And as soon as Hook goes down, they trade back. So see here, the bush wasn't warded, neither bush was warded, so it's just better to play safe. If we go back one more time, Smoothie exhaustion immediately as soon as he sees the Rengar. So the positioning there wasn't that great, but they're able to salvage it with summoners. Another excellent use of Hotshot to see if Rengar's still in the brush. More than likely finishes a recall, because now Rengar's falling behind. And they get back lane control thanks to Sneaky's use of W. So the wave's going to reset. Sneaky is enough for BF. There's very little reason to stay in lane. The enemy bot lane is going to push this wave into the turret because they have enough time, knowing that the enemy team recalled. Now what this does is it creates a slow push and an opportunity for the jungler to make his way bot and get ready for the gank. Smoothie makes a nice roam here. You can see there's a possibility of Rengar being bot side. So Sneaky uses Hawkshot once again to check if he's in this area. He can't, if he walks up the ward here, he just gets caught out, right? Bard is mid, Vi is mid. There's no chance of getting any help or pressure from them. So he just safely uses Hawkshot. And this is why Ashe is so strong right now. Because you have a lot of safety in your kit. You're able to create vision for yourself. You're able to farm from a distance. Your W does a lot of damage, a lot of AoE damage. And despite being 2v1 bot, he's still able to shove it out completely. Excellent cancel on the Q to harass Jhin. Because he has the minion wave on him. Okay, the initiation comes in. This is why you don't see Thresh very much in solo queue nowadays. Because a lot of the top supports simply have more utility than him. And it really requires you to be hitting your hooks constantly. So here's a good example of awareness, right? Like, Ashe can flash for this kill. Sigi can flash for this kill and try and get it. But he knows that Irelia is missing from top lane. Rengar is more than likely on his way bottom. Did they see through a ward? I believe they did. Yep, Rengar's here. Thanks to the vision Smoothie had created before. And Ashe knows to back up here, not to take any turret shots, because Rengar is more than likely on his way. There he is, he kills Smoothie. So while it was really sloppy of the support and mid to continue chasing the kill, Sneaky understands that he needs to stay safe. So that ends up being a 2-for-1 trade. Mid ran down, top ran down, jungler ran down, so a classic 2v5. As you can see here, now Vi is pushing top because they know Irelia doesn't have TP. They want to get damage on the turret and create a possible gank opportunity Vi wants to revisit. Now this is something I see a lot of people don't do in solo queue. After the buff to Berserker Greaves, it's very efficient to just rush them if you have enough gold over buying Zeal components, because the movement speed you get is higher. The attack speed is marginally higher. Let me double check on that before I make a definitive statement on it. Berserkers Greaves. Okay, 35. Yep, 30. It's 35, and the crit on Zeal is not nearly as efficient as the flat attack speed you get from boots. So provide you with far more mobility and a stronger attack speed buff immediately. With the minion wave push, even if Rengar's here, if bots walking up to help defend this pink ward, which they really aren't in a position to. Thresh wants to get his stacks off, so they're just conceding this pink ward. Even if Rengar's here, he doesn't have ultimate right now, so it's really safe to just clear this ward. So this skill is based purely on knowing cooldowns and knowing positioning. So as you can see here, Jin W was just used. Sneaky auto attacks the cannon, W's, hits the Jin, and then immediately resets his Q for the empowered slow. From there, the ultimate's really easy. Bard probably didn't need the flash in that situation. It would hit the Q no matter what. He's flashing there to not give Jin any time to react by chaining the CC. The Ashe Jin matchup is pretty volatile, and when one side has the upper hand, it's very difficult to recover without jungle pressure. So Vi knows that Dragon is spawning rather shortly, so she and Smoothie are now taking advantage of the fact that they got the kill bot lane that Thresh had backed to create vision to make sure they know if anyone's coming to contest it. So Thresh is still not back to lane. So that means Vi is pinging top to say, people are missing. Be careful. I really solo kills the heck for him, so it doesn't end up mattering. But these are the things you need to watch out for. This is a pretty sick play by Meteos. After taking the dragon, He sees a quick roam opportunity and takes it because mid isn't back yet. Alex isn't back in mid yet. So thanks to the priority they created in bot side jungle, they know it's safe. And so Meteos is able to make a quick move down. The snowballs the bot lane even further. Playing the bot side this game is a really good strategy simply because of how much strength the bot lane has individually. So to supplement that with jungle and mid pressure allows for a really easy laning phase for Sneaky. As you can see, both junglers are playing the bot side. The reason that they back off here is because there's no reason to be greedy with the Jhin ultimate to come down onto Ashe, and then Rengar just jumps on them and ends poorly. Potentially, there's no reason to take any risks here because they're so far ahead. Nice Hail Mary arrow. Rengar's first blood. I don't actually think Sneaky had the backup here because Thresh is dead. So even if Rengar's here, it doesn't change anything. So it's like his micro movement might have costed him a kill. So they see the exclamation point. They're like afraid a little bit. And so even though W doesn't hit Rengar, if Sneaky just turns on the Rengar immediately, instead of just walking away, they definitely pick him up. At this point, it's just a matter of bullying out the Rengar from the bot side of the jungle. If the Rengar really wants to do anything, he needs to be top side, trying to snowball the Irelia so Irelia can kill Ashe. Because if the enemy bot lane or mid lane walks out, they're just gonna get Ashe arrowed, and it makes it really difficult for the enemy team to not to farm anywhere that isn't under a turret. So seeing that there are about to be 3 topside, Sneaky rotates mid to establish pressure. This is what you have to do on any role, really. You have to establish pressure on a lane, so that way the enemy laner is punished. So he shows up the mid wave and then makes it back perfectly in time for the bot wave. There's no chance for the enemy bot lane to fight them because Sneaky and Smoothie are so far ahead. So they just back up. Because who knows if someone's going to teleport. The ultimate's force a flash. They see Rengar bot immediately. Back up. Because let's see where they saw them. Let's see where they saw Rengar. They saw Rengar here. They ping him. And this is purely due to the lead they had. They're just able to basically walk all over the map and do what they want. And pretty much all they have to do is dodge Rengar ult and they're fine. Sneaky thinks about rotating mid, but the wave's pushing, and the wave is the enemy wave is pushing back to them, so you might as well just farm more. So despite the ability to farm out one more wave, it's simply safer to just stay around. I mean, to just recall and buy items, because the lead's already pushed. He screws up his buy there for the Hurricane and mistimes. Oh, Smoothie match tunnels. Okay, Meteos calls for a gank mid. Ashe arrow misses, unfortunately, so they back up. So you can see here Ashe's presence creates so much pressure for the enemy team that they're just simply running as soon as she appears on the map. Right? You could probably trade kill for kill on Smoothie, but they're just afraid of feeding the Ashe more, so they just back up. This leads to a very easy dragon. Now that's pretty much snowballed in everyone's favor at this point. The Rengar didn't really make any moves early game. Bot lane lost naturally from level 1. And the only strong lane, Irelia, cannot deal with how strong everyone else is. The enemy team surrenders because it's just too late at this point to really do anything. And So Sneaky's Ashe ends up with a win. So things you need to learn from that. It's very important to do the level 1 camp properly, because if you miss the first half of the wave, you lose a lot of pressure. It's very important using Ashe's hawk shot effectively to see where you can catch up the enemy jungler. The enemy Rengar didn't take wolves after taking his blue buff at level 2, so they were able to know that Rengar probably took a fast route to red, and Smoothie and Sneaky adjusted their vision accordingly. They also knew that their jungler was ganking topside, so they just played ultra safe. From there, they were able to capitalize on holes of vision that Jid and Thresh had by having meteors come down. And Sneaky was never greedy in the face of a Rengar. If there was a possibility of the Rengar being on his side of the map, he was always very cautious and safe about it. He was never looking to turn, he was never looking to outplay. He was just looking to farm and just wait for his power spike to happen. Level 6 on Ashe is very important. Once he has a great landing phase, it really explodes at level 6. Also, there were several back timings that were very important to the lane. It didn't allow Rengar to gank bot. The way that Smoothie and Sneaky had played simply didn't give any room for Rengar to gank, and that's why the bot lane was unable to get any pressure, and Vi was able to take several dragons, because at the same time of having pressure, they were virtually ungankable because of how Sneaky and Smoothie were using their attack ranges, their ability ranges, to harass and farm safely at the same time. So I hope you learned something from this replay review. We'll be doing more of these as the days goes on. Thank you very much. If you really like what you saw, please consider liking the video and subscribing. Have a great day.